Hey everybody, welcome to a Friday morning Mic Talk. We're over here with Sarah's family in Cincinnati, and since we've been over here so much with Israel, I know where there's a good cinnamon roll, so I'll be heading there at some point. Shout out to my guy, Jim. Thanks, Jim. He's the director of FCA locally, and he brought me some coffee the other day. Thanks for the conversation. I want to shout out to my brother and sister-in-law, Joe and Sue Gaddis. God bless you guys. Love you all. Good hanging out. Thanks for watching and supporting us all the time. And I want to say hi to the small group in Yorkville. Thank you guys for your prayers, praying for you. And Sherry Courts, praying for you. And all of you guys, send your prayers into songandsword.com. Song and Sword, at Song and Sword on Instagram. You know how to find us. I'm not even smart enough to tell you, but you know how to get there. And if you send me a prayer request, I've been praying every night. I get these prayer requests sent to me, and I pray for you. So I hope you're doing well. Happy Friday to you. And we're going to get into the Word of God here in 1 Thessalonians. A good reminder, one of the things that seems to be going on in the Thessalonian church is that they were concerned about the second coming of the Lord. In fact, it actually seems as though some false teachers had said to them, hey, the Lord already came and went, and you guys missed it. The Apostle Paul, at the end of chapter 4 of 1 Thessalonians, he says, listen, no, it's not going to happen that way. It's going to be so clear. The trumpet's going to sound, and he's going to descend, and you're going to be taken, rise to heaven to be with the Lord forever. That's a passage often read at funerals. But today I want to talk about, as we see the day approaching, how are we supposed to live on this Friday, knowing that at any moment the trumpet could sound? Now, I'm going to give you two words here at the end of this, but chapter 5, 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 1, now concerning the times and the seasons, brothers, you have no need to have anything written to you, for you yourselves are fully aware that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night. While people are saying there's peace and security, then sudden destruction will come upon them as labor pains come upon a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. But you are not in darkness, brothers and sisters, for that day to surprise you like a thief. For you are all children of light, children of the day. We are not of the night or of the darkness, so then let us not sleep as others do, but let us keep awake and be sober. For those who sleep, sleep at night, and those who get drunk are drunk at night. But since we belong to the day, let us be sober. Then he goes on to list some of those things he lists in Ephesians 6, the breastplate of righteousness and faith and love and helmet of salvation. The Apostle Paul is saying, here's the deal. Here's what we know about the return of the Lord. It's going to come like that. And if you're sleeping or drunk, and he's using a metaphor here, traditionally people drink too much at night and people sleep at night. And he's saying the key is when Jesus returns, not to be sleeping and not to be drunk. In fact, that's the word that's used here. The word used twice in verse 8, sober, and in verse 6, sober. The word literally means not given to much wine. And so the idea is these people in the first century go to parties and drink wine until they're not sober. And they stumble home at night and they go to bed. And Jesus, Paul writes to the Thessalonians, hey, when that's what it's going to be like when Jesus comes back. People are going to be spiritually asleep and spiritually drunk to the realities of God. But he says, you're not that way. You are children of light. You are the children of light. And as children of light, that means daytime. And in the daytime, you don't get drunk. And in the daytime, you don't sleep. What's he saying to us? Well, in a spiritual sense, he's saying, hey, stay awake to what's happening spiritually. I know there are headlines and Russia and China and nuclear war and politics and the economy and all the stuff that's happening in our world, and there's earthquakes, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Is this the last time, Pastor? Are these the last days? I don't know, but you better stay awake. You better stop watching headlines and worrying about the next year with your grandkids or your kids or your spouse or your education or your job, and start looking in the skies and going, is today the day? Because if you watch like it's the day, today is the day, then you watch yourself spiritually and you stay sober spiritually. You are filled, as Paul says in Ephesians, you are filled with the Spirit and not filled with wine. You stay sober. You are alert. You watch, because all the stuff that's happening in this world could be signaling the end of the days when Jesus comes back. I know that scares some of you, but all you have to do, you don't have to worry about when Jesus is coming back. You just have to be ready. You have to be awake and spiritually sober when he does. So then when he comes, you go, I saw this coming. God bless you guys. Have a happy Friday. I am preparing a sermon that you're going to love about the Good Shepherd. I'll tell you a little bit more about that tomorrow. God bless you guys.